Greetings, fight enthusiasts! Are you ready for an adrenaline-pumping journey into the heart of Dagestan? Today, we're unveiling the top 10 best Dagestani fighters. Get ready to witness a showcase of raw talent, unyielding spirit, and jaw-dropping skills that define the essence of Dagestani warriors. Buckle up, because this is not your ordinary countdown. It's a celebration of combat excellence that you won't want to miss. 10. Ramazan Emiev. Ramazan Gorez Emiev entered the UFC in 2017 and has been showing good performance. After his tragic Jack Della Maddalena knockout loss, his latest UFC record is 5 wins and 3 losses. Ramazan is known for having a good gas tank within him. So far, the biggest win of his career is his UFC debut match against Sam Smile Alvey. He won in a dominating fashion, outstriking Alvey 38-29. The beast of a gas tank that he possesses helped him win the majority of his UFC fights via the split or a decisive unanimous decision. Nev's only fight that didn't pass round 1 was against Maddalena. 9. Rustam Khabilov. Rustam Tiger Khabilov is a UFC veteran. He started fighting in the UFC way back in 2012. During his UFC journey, he has fought in several weight classes. He experienced fighting as a lightweight, middleweight, and welterweight. In his career in the UFC, he has fought multiple top-class fighters such as George Masvidal, Benson Henderson, and Chris Wade. His unanimous decision win over the BMF champ, George Masvidal, is considered one of his biggest career wins. Today, Khabilov is not with the UFC anymore. You can now watch him fight in Bellator MMA. Despite the change of organization, he continues to fight at 170 lbs. 8. Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar Nurmagomedov is the cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov. He has a brother who is also a professional MMA fighter in Bellator named Usman Nurmagomedov. You just can't mess with the Nurmagomedovs in the streets. Umar is considered a freshman in the UFC. According to his latest July 2022 UFC stats, he has a 70% striking accuracy and an enormous 80% striking defense. As of June 2022, Umar has a clean record of 15-0. 3 of these 15 wins are fought inside the UFC octagon. During his newly started UFC run, he now has fought Nate Maness and Brian Kelleher Sergey Morozov. He is known to hurt his opponent with vicious strikes before choking them out. 7. Muslim Salikhov. Muslim Salikhov was once one of the top prospects in the UFC welterweight division. Now in his late 30s, he shared the octagon with some high-profile names over the years. Salikhov holds victories over Laureano Staropoli, Alicia Zaleski dos Santos, and Francisco Trinaldo. He is also a seasoned Sanda and kickboxing practitioner, having spent years kickboxing in China. 6. Omari Akhmedov. Omari Akhmedov is a UFC middleweight who has competed with several middleweight titans for years. Omari is a well-rounded mixed martial artist. He loves standing up in front of his opponents and exchanging some bombs, and at the same time, he can wrestle with you and tap you out. As of his last fight against Brad Tavares in UFC 264, Akhmedov has an excellent 65% takedown defense. This solidifies how good he is as an all-around fighter. He doesn't attack but defends himself well. Akhmedov has fought former middleweight champion Chris Weidman. He also had a close battle against Marvin Vettori in UFC 219 that ended up as a draw. 5. Said Nurmagomedov is not a brother of the famous Khabib Nurmagomedov. They're cousins. Unlike Khabib, said is a fighter that can surprise you from anywhere. He might start to strike with you at the beginning, and later on, you'll find yourself on the receiving end of a choke, says a freshman in the UFC organization. As per his last win against Douglas Silva de Andrade, he now has a UFC record of 5 wins and 1 loss. Some of his most impressive wins are against Mark Striegel and Cody Stamann. Said knocked out 1 championship star, Striegel 51 seconds in round 1. In his next match, he topped this record and submitted Stamann in just 47 seconds. 4. Askar Askarov. Askar Bullet Askarov is a UFC flyweight who just signed with the organization last 2019. His freshness in the promotion is why he only has a total of 5 fights by July 2022. But these 5 fights are enough to tell people that Askar might be the next flyweight title contender. The Bullet is comfortable and ultimately confident with his striking ability. He has an impressive 54% striking accuracy and 57% strike defense. Askar has fought and won against several flyweights, such as UFC veteran Joseph Benavidez and Tim Elliott. Young, healthy, and new to the roster, this kid has a lot of potentials. A flyweight star in the making. 3. Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev is one of the best fighters to come out of Dagestan. He competes in the UFC light heavyweight division and is currently ranked in the top 10 of the official rankings. Ankalaev joined the UFC after compiling a perfect 9-0 record but lost to Paul Craig in his debut. However, he is currently riding a 10-fight unbeaten streak, including victories over Nikita Krylov and Volkan Ozdemir. While he fought to a draw for vacant gold against Jan Blachowicz last year, his time in the title scene is likely just beginning. 2. Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is currently the reigning lightweight champion. He has compiled a 25-1 record, which includes 13 victories in a row as a UFC lightweight. Like his friend Khabib Nurmagomedov, Makhachev is a powerful Sambo practitioner who relentlessly attacks his opponents with offensive wrestling and vicious top control. Makhachev is currently coming off back-to-back wins over featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. His rivalry with the great was one for the ages and helped cement his place as one of the best on the planet. 1. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov is without a doubt the best fighter to come out of Dagestan. The former UFC lightweight champion has compiled a perfect 29-0 record, which includes 19 wins by submission or knockout. Nurmagomedov's win streak is considered one of the greatest records in all combat sports and includes victories over Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje. Although he retired after defending his lightweight title for the 3rd time in 2020, Nurmagomedov is still active in the combat sports community and trains many of his countrymen. He was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in the summer of 2022. That wraps up our journey through the elite fighters of Dagestan. If you enjoyed this adrenaline-fueled countdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your fellow fight fans, and subscribe for more action-packed content. Until next time, sign off. Keep the fight alive. LB. Say.